YouTube, welcome back. I'm your host Chase, aka Larry, back in the banger episode today. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe on today's video. Check out my channel, Charge Network, as a whole. Our sponsors, links in the description below. Use code CHARGE at checkout for Avid headsets, Advanced GG, and Zip chairs. Let's get into today's topic. So we got a crazy one going on. I was going to give you the key players involved: Charles Dixon, Yo Ocho, Bayless, Joy Taylor, and pretty much the fall person in this, Fargia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right. Story time, guys. We gotta dive into this crazy story and tell you how all this plays out. So pretty much around 2016, Undisputed comes out. Skip and Shannon, and we all know who watch sports about, the Undisputed and those two media personalities. Essentially, for Joy to get on this show, she had to do some favors for Charles Dixon. You guys, read between the lines here. You know what I'm trying to say. There's some favors for Charles Dixon to be able to get on the show as a host. Skip did not really want her up there, and he pretty much didn't have a say, or his say didn't really matter that much. And so, pretty much the hairstylist was Miss Fargia, and Skip wanted some of her, and he was willing to offer $1.5 million out of the $8 million he was getting annually, which is a pretty reputable size of money there, Mr. Bayless. I don't understand why a married man would go through these lengths, but it is what it is. Now this is just pretty much me, giving information here. Skip was mad at one point because Miss Fargia, I guess, wasn't, digging him, feeling the guy, whatever the case may be. So she pretty much said that she was messing with Shannon just so that he would leave her alone. And he got mad about it. He pretty much blew it over. He got mad about this and was pretty much cursing, whatever you want to say. And that's when people raise questions like, Skip, you're a married man here. Like, what were you doing? I mean, obviously, he didn't care about that at that point in time. Didn't care about it probably as much now, but it's just crazy that you would put your credibility on the line, something like this. And it's not so much that people are in an uproar, not just because it happened, but also because, Skip is the kind of person, just like Joy Taylor, they're holding themselves pretty much above, like, the average person in terms of, like, the things they do and the standards and things like that. And then they've also have to see eye to eye with certain people in the industry and the media as a whole anyway. So for both of them to say one thing and do another is pretty much hypocrisy. And we've seen that in media, not even just sports network industry, but we've seen that in terms of the internet as a whole more recently over the coming years. And we will continue to see this until people realize that you can't take everything that these people say, 100%. You can't take it verbatim. You have to give a grain of salt because you don't know. Just like we didn't know about the things that were important to you guys that happened that came out on Sunday. So to hop back into the story, to cover up what was going on with, Skip, Miss Fargia, because of the beef between the little beef that Skip and Shannon had, they pretty much, dropped Undisputed, and that pretty much hurt Miss Fargia's hours. So that in turn pretty much got her let go. When really it was the cover up for sexual, harassment that was going on. And then once after that, the reason Emmanuel Ocho comes into play, because now Joy was trying to get on his show, speak for yourself, or now speak, and she was doing favors for him too. So now she's doing favors for two people, and she got caught because those two people, the status of Charles and Emmanuel, they were not, there's no way that was going to be able to last and work. And she tried to get Miss Fargia to pretty much, hop on board, be a team player kind of thing. And that's where also the situation, she ended up being stuck in the middle of the situation as well. So it's just really crazy to see that what these people are doing behind the scenes. There's videos of, when Shannon and Joy was undisputed, of him saying, you know, Joy's my girl, but you know, and things like that. And also, there's pictures floating around of Emmanuel Ocho and Joy being at each other's place, you know, looking pretty comfortable. You know, there's different pictures of Joy being out and things like that. And I mean, it's crazy because at that time and place, people didn't really think much of it. But because of this situation, who knows what else is going to come out about some of the other people that we know are in, you know, the sports network industry. So to keep on going forward, the situation gets even stickier. So Fox had a corporate party, and Charles Dixon was pretty much, you know, adults, you know, we're not fully of ourselves. This man Charles grabs Miss Fargia inappropriately, and that's pretty much assault. So there's a lot going on here. It's just crazy. But you know, lastly, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about some deception too. Well, not really deception, but we're going to talk about like some real, like thought out craziness. And this is why, you know, some people say certain people are bad people, because Joy's whole plan, and this is where Joy like is really looked at different. I mean, she was already looked at different from what I just previously told you, but what even makes it worse is her plan is documented in all the papers, you know, floating around the internet. Pretty much her whole plot was to get power like she did, but after she got enough power, she was going to turn that power back on the people who helped her get these positions. Because what she was going to do is say she was forced to have sex, and you know, pretty much this rape, and she was going to turn this back on them and just pretty much out them and them, expose them. Both sides are wrong here. That's what I want people to understand. Both sides are wrong here. She could have handled it different. I understand she wanted to get to where she got to, and it was probably easier at that point in time to do what she did, but she could have blew this whole thing open in the beginning, to be honest. It'd have been better. You know, it would have looked better on her end and things like that. But it's a lot going on, and I don't understand why Joy would have thought it'd be okay to, you know, do what she did and then try to turn it back on. Because now it just looks like you were just going to turn it back on just to save yourself if this would have come out. That's essentially what it looked like. So that's just craziness, and all this whole thing is crazy. And there's going to be a lot of money have to get paid out behind this. And I mean, I don't know in terms of charge-wise, the misdemeanor felony. I don't really know how it's going. Obviously, as more information comes out, I will keep you guys updated. For those of you who have been on the internet, they've been going crazy since Sunday. This today. This is Monday. They've been going crazy in terms of like all the jabs that people are taking at those individuals that I listed, you know, earlier in the video. And it's really sad. It just really goes to show you that, you know, people still think with money that they can just kind of do wherever they want and they can kind of get away wherever they want, when entirely that's not really true. I don't know if pride, ego gets in the way, but it's just terrible to see. And just with people, we just got to be better. There's just no way. We can't promote one thing and then this is the things that we're doing. This comes out. We just can't do that. And we still got to hear from, you know, what Shannon has to say about all this, where he fits in. So let me know, guys, in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on everything. And I'll keep you guys updated as best as I can, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been your boy Chase. I'm out. Peace.